Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, Xander Schauffele, Bryson DeChambeau, all the best players in the world take their launch monitors out onto the golf course for practice. Why do they do it? What is the top secret reason why they do this? And should you do it to help improve your golf game? Let's get out on the golf course and let's find out. And so guys, in today's video we're going to take on a handful of holes using our own personal launch monitor. We are using today the Golf Zone Wave. Now what I really like about this is just how small and light it is. I love how simple it keeps it with the numbers it can give you. So tour pros will use different devices, they'll use different things to get ball speed, to get spin rates, to get club data as well. But today we're going to see just exactly why they do it and potentially what data to capture to potentially help you with your game. And you see guys, it's really interesting because I'm not generally going to look at the data potentially until maybe after the round, or I might get some feedback if it is a practice round like we said. But generally what I'm trying to do here is work out just how far the golf ball goes, what kind of spin rate I'm getting, and just how far this golf ball travels, potentially what shots I should take on in the tournament that I'm practicing for. So you can see there, a nice shot just drawing down the left hand side. We've picked up the numbers. Now interestingly there, that ball hasn't gone as far as potentially my drive normally would, but then out on the golf course it's a freezing cold morning. You can see we've got 253 yards, ball speed was down quite a lot, club head speed was about right at 109, and we had a spin of 317. So I've misstruck that one, and if I do that on the first tee, then I'm going to know that if I were to misstrike my drive on the opening hole, there is the potential for it to only go that far. So if there are maybe some bunkers out there, a lake out there, you need to know how far your bad shots go, probably more so than your good shots go, because we see lots of videos where people go out there, hit the driver 300 yards because they're nice and warm the mid-round, when realistically you need to know where it goes on a cold morning when you don't quite catch it, like that one. And I personally think a big reason why tour pros do this is so they cover every base. They know exactly how their equipment's performing, they know exactly how they're performing, and let's face it, they're not out here at 7 AM at Waterfront Golf Club where it's about 5 degrees trying to, yeah, I think they get it a bit better. And what I really like about this as well is you are kind of covering all your bases personally. So if you do go out here, to be honest, it's a good job I didn't catch that drive any better, because it would be in those bushes there. So we can now see how this ball reacts out of the rough. We can also see just potentially what club we would need for a certain distance on a cold morning, and having the ability to see just how your golf ball performs in different weather conditions, in different temperatures, is something that can massively help you understand, first of all, how far the ball should go, and secondly, how far the ball does go, because that is two totally different things. And if you learned anything from this video, please make it that. So I'm going to perch the Wave up on this stand a little bit higher because we are in the rough, and let's see what we get out here. 142 yards. So for me, that's going to be this morning probably a 7 iron, so I can click 7 iron, not 7 wood, 7 iron, and then we can see just exactly how this shot is going to perform for us, because a full 7 iron for me would go further than that, but we're out here playing golf, and there's a difference between playing golf and hitting golf shots, which is one of the things you quickly learn. Again, I've got the kind of white line just below, so this is aiming right hand side of the green. I'm hoping to move it a little bit around the corner, and the ball sat in wet rough, so it should come out low spin, but it's not going to have the proper ball speed, or the most ball speed you could have. Gripping down the shaft is going to rob us a little bit as well. I fatted that. That wasn't the best. What have we got there? 124. Right, and this is where I wanted to show you this video, because let's be fair, it's an honest, sobering video for a lot of people. I best not leave that. Let's hit one more as a test. There we go. That's the shot. Be good. Right, I'll show you the difference of where they are. 163, 170. So we know it's in there. Just got to wake up and find it. Guys, do me a favour, get in the comments below. Is this something that you would try? Obviously, launch monitors have never really been more accessible or more affordable. So you getting out on the golf course and learning what happens with your mishits, and potentially why as well. That's a big thing why tour pros will take them out there. If you can see club face data, ball data, and see exactly what's happening, and then the pro will work with their coach and go, well, out on the golf course, I'm getting this ball flight with this spin. What do you think's happening? And the coach will go, well, this, try this. Everyone's a winner. And we can see the difference there. The one that I fatted is 20 yards short, so pretty much bang on the money, and the right one is back of the green, which would have been long like we said. Very accurate, very accurate. So you may think that it stops here at the green, but one area that the best players in the world need more information and need feedback is around the greens. So you might find that players will pop these down on and around the greens, even in bunkers you will see the Golf Zone Wave can work, to see exactly what kind of spin rate, what launch angle we're getting, just 4 chip shots, 4 pitch shots, 4 shots, where hopefully we're going to rescue the game if we've not got our best stuff with us, like me this morning. And so with it being a practice round, I'm going to throw a couple of balls down. I've got it set up on lob wedge and see exactly what percentage shot I'm getting close and what ball numbers I'm getting, so I understand exactly what's happening to that golf ball. You may think this is a little bit over the top, but if you're going to try and be one of the best players in the world, you need to understand what's happening with that golf ball at all times. And release out. So straight away, 2 pretty good results there and 2 very different numbers. Not a lot of spin again because it is a wet ground and we're not getting too much, well, spin. In particular, if we look at the mid and the high shots there, you'll see we have a total distance of 38 yards on the high shot. We have 30 yards on the mid shot because I wanted that to run out more, and you can start to see a difference in that spin rate as well. So we had, these are all the parameters that you can have, but we don't want all them on this morning. That's too much for me on the golf course. 4,500 spin on the high shot, and I imagine a bit less on the low shot. Again, purely because we have a very wet, dewy ground, but we do have some rather impressive results with all those shots. And that could be an interesting way of going about things. Obviously, you wouldn't do this when you're playing with someone. It's primarily for you to get on the golf course and work out what your strengths and weaknesses are. Off the tee, into the green, and on and around the greens, you'll see we played 3 pretty good shots there. The high shot, the high tariff shot, is the one that's furthest away. So I can look at that and go, right, that's probably not the shot that I want to be playing if I don't need to, realistically. I think somehow, if this goes in, we've walked off with a par. Bogey. Right guys, let's go and take on my favourite hole, the par 3 here, and then we're going to have another couple of go with driver and see if we've warmed up and if we can potentially get more numbers like we do when we're inside in the warmth testing drivers. Because if you go for a driver fitting and you're getting specific numbers, surely you want those numbers out on the golf course. But sometimes it's quite difficult to do unless you go for a proper warm-up and you're not playing early in the morning and very, very stiff. And you see guys, you will see in today's video I'm using the Golf Zone Wave, but like I said, it's never been more accessible for people to get their own personal launch monitors. Loads of different ones you can go for. This is more kind of mid-range price-wise. You can spend up to £30,000–40,000 or dollars on a TrackMan on a GC quad. This is a little bit cheaper. You can go a little bit cheaper more and get something like a Flight Scope Mevo. I personally really enjoy the Wave because it actually acts as a simulator as well, so you can go and play loads of different golf courses on it. Right, par 3, 165 yards. I'm going to go 7-iron here. We're starting to loosen up now. Should have probably had a proper warm-up, but I'd love to see the differences in results potentially between the first few holes on a warm-up and no warm-up, and also playing golf carrying a bag or using a trolley or even a buggy towards the end of the round. See what kind of club speed you're getting, what kind of ball speed you're getting, and if it's potentially hurting or helping your game. Please make sure that's lined up to get the best numbers. Straight away, that's a bit of a heely shot. It should be the right distance though, that's bang at it. Right, that's, yeah, we'll have a talk. You see, this is really interesting because it just shows how accurate this is. That was a 7-iron, it wasn't the best strike. I wouldn't anticipate that to carry more than 150 yards. But actually that's worked out nicely for us because that is bang next to the flag. And if we take a look at the numbers that we have here, you'll see it actually carried 143, it's finished 159, the hole's playing 165, so that's about right. And if we have a look at the spin, very, very low spin because I didn't strike it very well at all. So realistically here, these are loads of numbers that you can go for. You can look at face to path, you can look at face angle, attack angle quite nicely there going down, dynamic loft and all the rest. But realistically, I'm just looking at how far that's gone on a miss hit, and now I know I probably don't need the 7. Let's go one less with an 8. Try and strike it nicely, and now I'm starting to realise that yes, I can hit a 7-iron here. I don't have to strike it perfectly to get the distance that I want. So you see that now golf becomes more a game of how far can I hit it than how far do I hit it, which for me is absolutely huge. Quite a nice pressured 8-iron. I don't think we'll get closer than that. better. Better strike. That one's middle of the green, fading nicely into the middle of that green, and that one's gone very, very similar, 140 carry, 157 total. So realistically here, I'm now learning not only what club to hit, but potentially what shots to hit as well, because I think the bad 7-iron is a better shot all day there, but I can obviously try and play a good 7-iron and see where that goes. Tell you what, I am absolutely buzzing with that first shot. I'll take that for a miss hit all day long. Guys, do you know how far your clubs go on a miss hit? I'm using blazed irons today, so I might not get as much forgiveness as potentially if I was using some CBs or some hollow bodied irons. And again, that's why tour pros might well take out a launch monitor to test new product on the golf course, to see how it performs under a little bit more pressure. Potentially on the practice round, they're having a big money match with one of the pals, and they're thinking, right, how does this iron perform if I slightly don't get it under pressure? Because that's what it's all about. The second shot actually caught the lip of this bunker, and I've never seen this used in the bunker. I have seen it used on an instructional video, but never on the course. I want to see exactly why my bunker play is so good at the moment, and this is a great way of finding out and then taking it into my practice and trying to potentially replicate it so I can get even better and more consistent at it. Oh, that was so nice. Oh! So I find this really, really interesting. A really good bunker shot. 17 yards carry, 21 total. What kind of speed did we get? What kind of spin did we get? Not a lot of spin at all there. Again, out of wet sand. I would question that. I would think maybe we got a little bit more spin on that, but then it wasn't a very long shot, was it? Just a 20-yard shot there. Nice one though. And again, there you start to paint a picture of exactly what kind of shot you're trying to play. Are you trying to play a really high shot with low spin? Are you trying to play one that kind of duffs out and releases a little bit more like that one was? And are you trying to play a shot that is the more repeatable, consistent shot, or are you trying to play a shot that maybe you might pull off once in a blue moon? This for the birdie. Oh, stop it. Thin 7-iron to there, 2 with the first ball. Now the Golf Zone Wave that I'm using in today's video does come with a putting plate as well, or a putting mat, so you can use that for the simulation. If I was out on a buggy, I would bring that and maybe have a look at some putting numbers as well, but it's a little bit heavy to put in the bag, so we'll do that on another day. And that is one area where golf simulators and golf launch monitors have massively come on in the last few years really. TrackMan, Foresight and now Golf Zone are all smashing it when it comes to not only how far does your driver go, but how well does your putter perform when it comes to ball speed, and how quickly is the ball getting rolling, and exactly how square is that golf ball coming off your putter face, because that could save you a load more shots than getting a different kind of spin window with your driver. Okay, I really enjoyed this test throughout the bag. Guys, I hope you have as well, but it is now time to see if I've warmed up. Let's see if we can hit a nice long drive down there and see if we can hit anything like the drives we hit when testing drivers under no pressure. Now, I do quite like the idea of doing this when testing potentially a new driver. If you can go and get one maybe taped up, or if you do have a demo to take out with you. Remember, these things are a lot of money now. If someone is trying to sell you one where you don't try it, just say no and go somewhere else, because you wouldn't do that with a car. So why would you do it with a £500 golf club? Right, come on, this has to be in the fairway. That's the goal. Right, that is a perfect drive, fading down the middle, a little bit high spin still, a touch heely, which gave it a bit more spin, so 3,200 even on a low spin driver. But club head speed was pretty high for me, ball speed was really good at 160, carrying 262 and total 272. So realistically there, if I can get that centred and not out the heel, that was toey. You can see there again a little fade, managed to get the spin rates down into the 2000s. We managed to keep the club speed the same, the ball speed was very similar, and we got 267 carry that time, 283 total. So what I'm learning there is I don't strike it out the centre as often as I think I do. So this low spin driver may be good inside and when testing for numbers, but when we're out here on the golf course, is it potentially costing me shots or yardage? Guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that video. Should you take one out on the golf course? I think potentially if you have access to one, even every so often, it would help, and I really enjoy using the Golf Zone Wave for this test. Guys, smash that subscribe button and I'll see you all, oh dear, I'm going to go and work on that. See you all at the same time tomorrow. Goodbye.